The presence of other beings is going to be more prevalent as we shift into a more expansive frequency. This may sound like cray-cray stuff to somebody who's new to what I'm talking about. And those of you who feel it and don't talk about it know that it's finally happening. We're figuring out what we are. What does that mean? Well, the universe is waiting for us to figure out what we are. They're watching our game, our matrix, not interfering, but stepping in to make themselves known more and more. A lot of that's due to technology. But who are these beings? Who are these other forms, these entities, these aliens, extraterrestrials? They're just another form of the energy field of what we are. And why are they so concerned about us? And why are we going to actually come into contact with them more and more? Probably in your lifetime. You want to find out why? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing, beautiful life. You ready to do that? What does that mean? What is a beautiful life for you? Would it mean never having fear? Yeah, no fear. Is it you changing the story in your head about what's happening out there and seeing that we are just low frequency beings trying to find our way back to light so that we can know ourselves? You can't know light until you've been into darkness. I couldn't explain it. I couldn't describe it to you if you've never known it. That's what we're doing. We're going more into the light. I see it. I'm experiencing it. So what's happening with our extraterrestrial friends? It's actually just not those in alien craft that bend space and time and show up here. It's everyone. It's every form of the one. It's that energy field that you see bouncing around in the woods. It is the spheres of energy, those globes of light that fly around. It's those sparkles and sparks in the room at night that you're saying, there's no car outside creating that. Those are all entities, energy fields, in every shape and form, literally, that are rooting for us. Why? Because they're on higher frequencies. We chose to come into the densest planet in the universe, and they applaud us for that. But our mission is to raise our frequency. That's the game. That's the matrix. We went into density. And so we have a veil here. We're protected, but we have a veil, and the veils are lifting so that we can connect to the quantum field where we realize we never were in a dark space to begin with. We chose it to know it, and we can step out of it any time. Well, if we don't take care of this beautiful planet who has agreed to, cooperate with us, let's just say, entangle with us, if we don't take care of her, her future is in jeopardy, as is other human beings by other human beings. So it's not just her. So if your neighbor gets injured by somebody who becomes violent, we are our own worst enemy, right? So it's the conflict that goes on between energy fields that can destroy somebody who seems innocent but is actually participating. The more we come out of that and the more we go into unity, the more we are going to go into a space where we affect the universe in a very positive way. The more we go into density, the more we contribute toward the collective of the other universes, the metaverses, right? It affects them because we're one. There's no time and space. Everything's one thing happening, not happening simultaneously. It's one energy field just happening. You and I are one thing happening, as is everything else. No separation in that. It's one energy field happening, showing up as individual energy fields and experiences. Don't try and wrap your head around that. So let's talk about our ET friends. Just like light workers, if we want to label that, I don't like labels, but let's say people have come here in in bodies to help facilitate our awakening process through our choice, then they want to see us do well also because it affects them. And of course, suffering isn't a nice thing to watch. Nobody wants to see anything suffer. So they are going to watch us, but cannot interfere because we chose a game of free will so that we could personally conquer that, master it. So if somebody came in and interfered, we wouldn't learn anything from it, right? If somebody came in and did something for you, like with your children, if they're trying to learn a puzzle or whatever, and you came and put it together, they would say, oh, great. Where's the satisfaction in that? And that's what's happening right now. We're putting the puzzle together. Now, I said to you in a video not too long ago, I could look at a piece of paper and see dots and say, what is that? And as I backed up, realized that every one of those dots created a picture, a beautiful picture. And if one dot was missing, it would not be the same picture, it would not be whole. You're a dot. I'm a dot. What does that mean? We're one whole creating the picture. And that is planet Earth, that's our existence here, and then it goes beyond. Higher beings, they do have our best interests in mind. They will, like every other energy field, seen and unseen, will facilitate and assist us when we ask. Ask and it is given. That's what that means. In other words, you have to want it. You have to have the free will to ask for it and really want it. You can't just want it done for you. You want to use your own energy field. So like when you go into space, and I teach manifest anything, you guys know this. I give you all the tools to manifest anything. How do you do it? You have to feel it and know it and say, I'm ready. I'm ready to go into awakened space. I'm ready to heal. And you believe it and you know it and you're done with all the other stuff. So you actually manifest it. Then intervention is allowed because you chose it. Does this make sense? So if I choose to heal, like Christ could not heal me if I don't choose it. So once I do, he can intervene. Jesus, the person, could step in here back in the day, do his thing, and it would happen because I had the free will and choice to agree to that. So that's what's happening out there. With our permission and our going into the space of accepting that and not fear, they will step in. This is why we're seeing them more and more, because we're opening ourselves up to it. Most people don't fear them. A lot of people share stories that, of horrible things that they supposedly do because they're still in density and they don't remember that they agreed. They're human beings. We are just a species. That is not who we are. We're the energy field behind us. So we agreed, many people have agreed to participate in the physical nature so that things could be upgraded to these human bodies to keep up with our acceleration of our frequency. In other words, your DNA is changing. That's a fact, by the way. DNA is changing. There's no junk DNA. It's activated. The higher frequency we go into, the more it activates. It was there in the first place, which means that's really what we are. We just weren't using it. So now that we're going to a high frequency, what's happening, we are starting to use that magical space that gives us that power that always was there, but that we didn't believe. We have to believe it, activate it. So if I know that I am that, I can go into this space. The stuff you can do will blow your mind. Stuff you can do will blow your mind. So I put requests out all the time, and I teach you guys this. Come on over. I've got private coaching. I've got courses for you. I've got Activate Your Magics coming out. Advanced Manifesting. Don't take it unless you're ready for it, because it's going to blow your mind. We do some cray-cray stuff. We get out of the way, and we go into that space. And we do some really cool stuff in that course. Why? Because advance means I'm no longer operating from ego. And so I go into a space where all things are possible. So when other entities step in, I'm not surprised, because I know that I am just one form of, limitless energy fields out there. And so when they show up, only human beings are programmed to fear that which they are that steps in the room that looks different to them. And, you know, the joke is that another human being could be just as deadly or more deadly than any extraterrestrial that steps in. Because if they were really nasty, we wouldn't be here. They wouldn't wait till we damaged the planet up to this point before they wiped us out. But they will stop us from destroying one another. But that is not their mission, and that is not their prerogative. And that's why things that are going on our planet are still allowed. We have to play it out and learn for ourselves that that is not a solution. We must end the violence and the conflict. It starts with you and I. Yes, we're going to see extraterrestrials showing up more and more in our lifetime. It's actually going to start happening pretty quickly in the next decade, next 10 years. I think I'll probably still be here. You never know, right? You never know. Hurricane comes in, I might glub, 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 decide to go out that way. I am a Pisces after all. I love fish. Oops, I do eat them once in a while. I'm trying to get off of that. I'm pretty much vegan most of the time. So my question to you is, what choices are you going to make right now? And are you going to open yourself to the fact that the one is limitless? And of course there are beings all over, seen and unseen. They're in the room right now. Just because they're in a high frequency, I can't see them, doesn't mean they don't exist. They'll make themselves known, but they won't usually do it because it interferes with my story, my play, my role. And so if they step in and freak me out, or, you know, an ET lands and talks to me, you know, and I have a mission to do certain things, it interferes. So they cannot interfere. That's all it is. But they're going to make themselves known. So they get us used to, you know, the little mice down here, get us used to, you know, the fact that they're here and they exist and they're powerful and they're massive. You know, these things are like the size of a city. Pretty cool. And so they've been through their own experiences, and I know some of you have past life experiences, memories, very strong ones, I know I do, of being on planets, unfortunately, that had a lot of conflict on them. Peaceful people, but conflict going on, battles over the planet, versus the people were not battling one another. Isn't that interesting? Very, very distinct memories, and I can draw entire cities, tell you events, and what my role was too. Very interesting. So you may have memories, that's not crazy. And if somebody tells you you're crazy, tell them that it's a shame that they're limiting themselves, because they too have experienced endless lifetimes. There's cause and effect to everything. What are your causes going on right now and the effects from that? Negative? No separation, my friends. So get ready. You're going to see them more and more. Get used to not being afraid. What's there to fear? They're another form of the one. Big whoop. So they look different. And even if you experience fear as a human, you can break through it. Come on over and take my course. It's pretty extensive, but it's changing lives. You just got to get the assistance to deprogram yourself. It's a choice. Of course, I'd love if you subscribed if you haven't already, and I'd love if you shared these. We got to talk unity and community. We got to talk solutions and love and compassion. We have to talk about how do we end the struggle, and how do we offer our assistance, our love to others who feel that they have none, that are lost. You're not lost. You never were. It's a story. You can change the story. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.